I don't know about you, but I get really excited when I hear about a new makeup line, and if it's from the drugstore, I am totally there. And this is a new makeup line called Flower Beauty. It's by Drew Barrymore, and I'm sure a huge team of chemists and designers and whatever, but it's out in Wal-Mart stores now, and I was watching her on several talk shows. She's really been on the media circuit here lately. And she was really claiming that these are high-end formulas for drugstore prices, so of course I am out to see if that is really true. These products are made in the USA. They're not tested on animals, and I just picked up sort of a handful of things. When I ran into them at my Walmart store, I saw the full line, and it is, you know, everything from foundations to concealers and nail polishes, lip products, cheek products, you know, everything is there. Throughout this video, I'm also going to be cutting to some shots of the actual application and swatches. I want you to really see how these products apply, not just my descriptions of them. Real quick, the things I'm going to be talking about are the foundation stick, powder foundation, a blush bronzer duo, an eyeshadow quad, a mascara, and also a couple of different lip products. First off, the Skincognito foundation stick. I am in SF3 for this one. I've always been a huge fan of foundation sticks. I feel like Maybelline used to have one years ago, L'Oreal did as well, and I think they're super convenient because they're usually very buildable, and I found that to be the case with this one as well. So basically, you just twist it up. It looks like, you know, a giant lip balm or something, but this is very creamy in texture, and so the way I applied it was I just kind of dotted it around on my face, and then I used my Sigma F80 foundation brush to buff it in. You could also use your fingers. I just feel like that brush gives me a nice evenness in application and pressure applied to the face. And then I also use this as my concealer. So I went back and I layered a little more product over those certain areas that I would normally use a concealer on, and I was really pleased with the coverage. I felt like this could totally be built up, customized to the coverage you need it to be, and then I just used a smaller, more targeted brush to blend in those areas, and that is all I used. I did not bring in another concealer for this look, and so I think that makes this wonderfully user-friendly. If you can use this as both kind of like a really creamy foundation and also a concealer, you're eliminating an extra product there, and that made this great for travel. So I did travel with this, and I found it so easy to be able to use it in that way. One thing I did notice, even though I was in a very dry, extremely cold climate, I still did need to touch this up with a little bit of powder about midday, and I am kind of like combination skin, so I get a little bit oily in the T-zone. I went ahead and even in my initial makeup application, I applied powder on top of this, but I still needed that little extra bit later in the day. So if you're a dry skin person, I think this could be perfect for you. If you're really, really oily, you may still be able to use this in just a lighter way. Maybe don't apply too much in those areas that you get very oily, and be very conscious of the fact that you'll want to reapply some powder or whatever mattifying type product you like to use. Next product is the powder foundation. It's called Powder Trip. I have it in PP3. Okay, so it's got this kind of, you know, quilted looking packaging, which I think is adorable. And it comes with a little brush here. I don't really like the brush. I just prefer a more full powder brush. And then you've got your powder foundation right over here. So there's no mirror here. And to break this down in a nutshell, I don't feel like this is as much coverage as most powder foundations have. I feel like it's more the coverage of just a typical pressed powder. And even then, I don't feel like the texture is really outstanding. I mean, it feels nice. It's not super flaky and really, really dry feeling, but I still don't really like it as much as, say, L'Oreal True Match or the new Revlon Nearly Naked powder. It's just not quite as creamy as feeling as those, and so it doesn't give a lot of coverage. So if I'm thinking this isn't gonna be, you know, my powder foundation, maybe this will be just a powder I throw in my purse. But there's no mirror, and we all know compacts are great to have in your purse because they have that mirror that you can use for touch-ups. So this is just kind of like not the greatest powder in my opinion, and then you don't get that mirror, so even as a sheer powder, it's not quite as functional for you that way. But a positive point about the packaging, I love the white paired with sort of this rose gold look. I think that is a really cute detail that you're going to see in some of the different products. But as far as this goes, I mean, I used it in this look to set my foundation stick. It works okay in that sense, but it's not amazing for oil control. It's not amazing for coverage. Next, we have the Ready Set Glow Blush Bronzer Duo. So this is a cool little thing. It's in Shimmering Goddess is the shade I have, but I must say it does not have shimmer. I hate when names mislead you like that and you think, oh, is it going to be sparkly? Nope, it's not. It has, again, like many of the compacts have, this magnetic sort of closure. Really feels nice. I mean, I think this is really cutely designed packaging, but as you can see here, two very deep shades. You've got a pretty deep bronzer here with no shimmer, and also a matte blush in sort of this kind of deep raspberry color. I really got this because I thought the bronzer looked matte through the packaging, and I knew I wanted a matte bronzer, and they just seemed so bold. I just wanted to see what they were made of, you know, and they really are intense. You've got to be careful when you use these. Use a light hand, don't load up the brush too much, definitely tap off the excess. I used, first off, the bronzer as kind of a contouring product, so I used that under the cheekbones, contoured the forehead a bit. I found it to be blendable, even as dark as it was, and my skin is not exactly deep right now, or even tan this time of year, so I found that to be still very easy to blend, but again, don't get too much on your brush. The blush has the potential to be so intense. It reminds me of the Sleek blush that I got for Christmas this year, in the fact that, you know, it just takes a tiny bit. I find that it's a gorgeous color, and even if you're a skin tone like me, kind of light skin tone, this can really be blended out and look gorgeous. And they did have some other shades. I think there may have been 4 different combos. One had like a lighter pink blush, maybe something more peachy. I'm not sure that all the bronzers were entirely matte, so that's something you need to kind of look closely at in the store, but I really like this one. Again, it's called Shimmering Goddess. No shimmer, but really a great blush bronzer duo there. Next we have the eyeshadow quad, and it's called Shadow Play, and my shade is in Foxy Browns. I think they had just 4 different options at the store, so this is the only one of the shadow quads that I have. It consists of some neutral shades that I typically would gravitate toward anyway. It's got kind of a light pink as a highlight, a really nice deep bronze, sort of taupe silver shimmery gray, and then a great matte dark brown. So in terms of the configuration, you know, the way these are put together, the choice that was made to put, you know, matte brown with a couple of shimmery shades, a nice light highlight, is very user friendly. These can be used together to create either a deep dark look or a totally, you know, kind of middle of the road everyday look like I did today. Texture wise with these shadows, and keep in mind I've only tried one quad, and I think they had some more colorful ones available, but it reminds me, it's probably the closest thing in the drugstore that I've found to the quality of the Wet n Wild eyeshadows, which you know I love. One thing I noticed was that this bronze in particular was kind of flaky. You know how sometimes you put your brush in, kind of reminded me of the Lorac eyeshadows in the fact that you put your brush in and it just kind of got a little bit loose on you there. That's something that can definitely be dealt with. You can tap your brush off, you can be a little more careful, but I didn't notice that as much with the other 3 shades here. I felt like the color was pretty full-on color. You know, I didn't feel like it was lacking or feeling like, gosh, I wish I could, do I need to work harder to make that show up? They worked really well. The texture of this matte shade is really nice. When I say a shadow's creamy, when you put your finger in it and it's like, oh, it doesn't feel dry, flaky, you know, it feels almost, it has a softness to it. And that brown I just think is a wonderful kind of cool dark brown to have. The way I use this today for just an everyday look, I took the dark bronze, kind of went all over the lid with that, and I also blended out my crease somewhat with that as well. I used a little bit of the light pink as an under the brow highlight and an inner corner highlight. I think it works great for that. And used some of the dark brown just to deepen up my outer corner a little bit. I also used it as sort of a smudgy liner under the lower lash line. Super easy to do there. I went in and used my own just black eyeliner on my upper lash line because I haven't tried an eyeliner from this line yet. It does come with a sponge tip applicator. One side is a little more pointy, one is more traditional. The other eye thing that I got was this Lash Knockout Volumizing Mascara. It's got a kind of thick brush. It reminds me a lot of my Mally Volumizing Mascara brush, and for that matter the formula does too. It's not maybe quite as lengthening as that one is, but I still felt like it really thickened up the lashes. It did not clump much at all, and wearing it throughout the day, you know, and didn't really have any issues with flaking off onto my cheek or anything like that. And what I think is really nice about it is it keeps the lashes feeling like eyelashes, having that sort of flexible feel. They don't feel super hard and brittle. I got a couple of different lip products from the line. One is a lip butter in sheer Snapdragon, and that's what I'm wearing now, and I gotta say I don't feel like this is sheer at all. The packaging is a little bit bulky, and I did struggle a bit because you couldn't open these in the store, of course, and also you've got this tinted cap that, you know, you assume, okay, it's probably going to be kind of like that shade, but you can't really tell when the cap is tinted like that. I really do like the shade. It's kind of like reddish with maybe a little bit of an orangey twist, a little bit of a coral color. I think it looks really fresh, and as you can see, it looks almost like I've maybe applied a lip gloss. So it's very shiny, very full color. I haven't had issues with it traveling outside the lip line. Scent-wise, I don't smell much at all, and I don't smell much off of any of these products. The other lipstick I got, which I think is even better packaging, really cute, but you see the actual lipstick shade right down here, so you know exactly what that lipstick's gonna look like. It looks just like that. So, and it's just a little more compact in general. This is the Kiss Stick Luxury Lip Color in Petal Kiss, and I think this is a gorgeous everyday shade. I could see this lip color looking good on so many women, so many people who are maybe out in the working world and want that lipstick that's not gonna, you know, scream across the room at someone, but is going to at the same time kind of enhance your skin tone and just bring everything up a notch. This is a super duper wearable shade. The other shade, there's no shimmer in it. It doesn't have quite the shine factor that the other one has. It's more like a typical lipstick, and that's the way it performs. I mean, it has a good creaminess to it. So is this makeup, you know, that higher quality, high-end makeup just given to us at a drugstore price? And I really feel like for the most part, I could see a lot of this makeup as comparable to some high-end brands that I've tried. The exterior packaging is very cute, but I feel like the function of the products is really good as well. I think my definite standouts are probably the foundation stick. I really liked, as I said, that dual function of being a foundation and a concealer and having good enough coverage to cover up under eye circles, spots, you name it. Really nice. I think that the pigmentation on these blushes is pretty much unmatched from the drugstore, in my opinion. I mean, matte, full color. I would love to try some other shades of the blush bronzer duo. And I gotta give a high marks to the eyeshadow as well. I mean, I feel like texture-wise, these are probably some of the best that are out there in the drugstore. They only had, I think, 4 different quads though, so there's not a ton of selection out there right now. That could change in the future, I guess, but this is a great little neutral quad, and I think I'm gonna get a lot of use out of that. In terms of the things that I'm kind of middle of the road on, but I still really like, the mascara, I didn't feel like it maybe gave me the amount of volume and length that, say, Almay Get Up and Grow does, but at the same time it feels really nice on the lashes, and I think a lot of people would like this for the fact that it doesn't get real clumpy, yet it still does volumize. I also love the lip products, but at the same time, how different are they from the other offerings in the drugstore? How does this lip butter compared to the Revlon lip butter. I feel like it gives full-on color like the Revlon ones do. It might feel just a little bit thicker on the lips, a little bit heavier, not sticky heavy, but just a little bit more of a you feel it a little more on your lips. So, and the packaging is kind of bulky. This lipstick I think is great. Staying power is nice with it. It's not as glossy as the other one. The color is not outstandingly unique, but at the same time, that's what makes it special, because it is that kind of wearable pink that I think is really, really going to work for a lot of people. And the product that I really kind of didn't like is the powder foundation, just because I didn't feel like it was truly a powder foundation. The coverage was a little too sheer, and then if you want to use it as a travel powder compact, you don't have that mirror. If you have any questions, let me know. I'll probably be trying some more things, and as I do, you'll probably hear about them in future videos. And always check my blog, that's beautybroadcast.net, because I put a lot of individual product reviews on there as well. So thanks again, guys. Have a great day, and I'll see you next time. Bye.